Hey guys, it's Davey here from PhoneBuff.com, and today I'm doing a quick review on the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. So there's plenty of reviews out there, obviously, that's been done on this phone before. The phone's been out for quite some time, and I've had it since November. So I have been using it as my daily driver. So I just want to give you, a quick overview, and then just tell you what I like and dislike about the phone. So first off, the phone has a 4.65-inch screen, as you may know. It's Super AMOLED. It's 720p, 5 megapixel camera on the back. Got your 1.3 megapixel camera on the front, and that's pretty much all I want to talk about as far as the device goes itself, or the hardware. And I just want to talk about what I like and dislike about the phone. So I'm gonna start off with what I dislike, so I can end it on a positive note, because I do like this phone a lot. What I don't like about it is the speaker. The speaker in here is really, really low. It just doesn't have the kind of volume you'd expect from a flagship phone, especially one like the Nexus. That could cost upwards of $300, $400, especially if you're getting it a GSM one like I have, that was originally purchased for $700 when I bought it from overseas. So anyway, this phone's speaker isn't as good as I want it to be, but it's actually software related, believe it or not, because I've downloaded an app called Volume Plus, and that seems to have fixed the issue. It lets me amplify the speaker, and it pretty much performs the way I expect it to, at least like the Galaxy S2. And obviously if I push it too much, it'll start to sound distorted, but at least that fixes the issue. But I just really, would wish or hope that Google fixes it in a future update. I don't know if they will, but hopefully they do. Another thing that I feel like Google needs to fix is the software as far as the speed, the performance. For example, when I go to unlock the phone with the camera, or opening straight to the camera, it takes like 2 or 3 seconds for it to open. Now, that's depending on how many apps I have open. If I have a lot of apps running, it might take even longer. So that's something I don't like. Another thing is the live wallpapers on here. For some reason or another, I have no idea why, it just kind of stutters. I mean, it's not smooth like it is on the Galaxy S2, on the HTC Amaze 4G, on pretty much any phone I've tried with Android 2.3 so far. The live wallpapers are smooth. I don't know why it's just kind of laggy. I don't know if that's coming through on camera, but it kind of stutters a bit when I go from page to page. Now let me give you something to compare it to. So let me put a regular wallpaper on here. We'll do the standard Nexus one, and you can see now it's just smooth. So definitely makes a difference. I tend to not use live wallpapers because of that, because it just makes me feel like my phone is slow. I do wish the processor in here was a little bit faster. They underclocked it from 1.5, the 4460, to 1.2. So they did it to conserve battery life. And this is the GSM version, just to let you guys know, it's the HSPA Plus. The battery on here is actually really, really good. But I've heard a lot of people talk about the battery on the LTE version for Verizon, and I've heard that the LTE really drains the battery. So a lot of people complain about the battery life with the CDMA version. But if you're getting the GSM version, battery life is great. I mean, it lasts me all day. I never, have to recharge the phone. So definitely something I love about it, especially compared to my Nexus S. My Nexus S lasted a lot less than this guy does. Let's see, what else do I not like about it? Oh, another thing that kind of bugs me about this phone is the browser. Whenever I'm loading a web page, about half the time when I load it, and it, as it's loading, and if the articles are showing up and I want to zoom in, the double tap doesn't respond the way I want it to. So right there you can see it kind of struggled a little. Half the time it works and half the time it doesn't, but sometimes I'll double tap and it won't register, and I have to do it over and over and over until it finally gets to the point. And a lot of times, or at least 25% of the time, if there's a link within the article, it'll click on the link and take me to the next web page. So that annoys me, but I downloaded Google Chrome, and it seems to do it a lot less. So if you get the Galaxy Nexus or have the Galaxy Nexus, I'd recommend Google Chrome, because it seems to do it less, but Google Chrome has some issues of its own. So for example, if I type it, so like you can see the keyboard kind of lags a little bit. And again, it does this about half the time. It does it, sporadically. I can't necessarily make it or demonstrate it again, but just gotta take my word for it. Sometimes the keyboard literally is like a second behind as far as the letter I type. Now I could keep on typing and it will catch up with it. So it's not like it's not registering, it's just not showing it as being typed. So again, that's another software thing. Google, from what I've heard, reports about Android 4.04 and 4.05. Seems like a lot of these issues are going to be fixed But again, we don't have the update yet, so I can't say for sure. Hopefully that is the case, and we're expecting it sometime in April, maybe May. I just really hope I get it sooner rather than later because those issues are kind of annoying. Last thing that I don't like about the phone, and this is not software related, there's nothing you can do about it. It's the lack of a micro SD card. I mean, there is no SD card on here, so I can't expand my storage. I'm stuck with the 16 gigabytes I have on the GSM version. If you have the LTE version, you're stuck with 32. But that might not be an issue for you. I just like to have the choice. Now let's talk about what I do like about the phone because there's honestly a lot to love. I love the screen on here. The screen on here, even though it's not Super AMOLED Plus and it's Super AMOLED, it is 720p, so the resolution is super high. Loading web pages on here is fantastic. I mean, I could zoom out and still be able to read the text even like this. So that really is a plus on the screen. I don't really notice the subtile or the pentile matrix display. I mean, I don't notice it hindering the quality. Everything looks super good. And I mean, I don't know if that's showing up on camera, but it's super smooth and just looks really nice. Watching HD YouTube videos is really nice on here. And also reading books. So if you're going to use like Kindle or Play Books, for example, reading a book on here, it's actually pretty nice because of the huge screen, because it's 4.65 inches. You have a lot of real estate on here, and the high resolution just makes it even better. And reading a book on here, I mean, honestly, I don't feel like I would need a Kindle with a phone like this. Now, a thing about it is, it might waste battery life, but cool thing is because this is a Super AMOLED display, what it could do is change the way the display is to make the background black, so that way I take advantage of the AMOLED screen. That way I'm only wasting battery life on the letters and not the white background. So that's what I do pretty much when I read a book on here, and like I said, I still have great battery life. So the next thing I like about the phone is the fact that it's really sleek. I mean, take a look at it. It's all black. There's no capacitive buttons on the front. It just looks really sleek. I mean, that appeals to me. Obviously, everybody has different taste. The phone's pretty thin. I mean, it's not thick at all by any means. The phone's back cover with this texture is really nice. And one thing I want to talk about also is the camera. I mean, a lot of people, when it first came out, were talking about, oh, it doesn't have an 8 megapixel camera. The iPhone has an 8 megapixel camera. I'm happy with the camera. The camera takes really good pictures. It records in 1080p. My videos come out looking awesome. The front-facing camera is 1.3 megapixels and records in 720p. So that's something you have to consider because a lot of the new phones coming out, they have VGA cameras in the front-facing camera, and it doesn't look as good as this one does. So that's another thing that I like about it. I also like the fact that everything on the phone is it's stock Android. You don't have to worry about bloatware. You don't have to worry about things slowing you down for no reason. And one of the best things, obviously, of having a Nexus device is that you're promised to have the update at least 3 months or so ahead of time or before other phones get it. So I've had this phone since November. I've been running on Ice Cream Sandwich, and it's almost April, and there is no phones out there on the market that have Ice Cream Sandwich. There's been a few phones that have been updated, worldwide, but for the most part, most people are running on Gingerbread. So definitely something to consider when you're looking at this phone if you're considering purchasing it. I mean, overall, I recommend it. Now, there's going to be better phones out there as far as hardware goes. I know that the HTC is coming out with the One X and the One S, and those have the Snapdragon S4 processors, and I mean, those processors beat this guy out. I mean, benchmarks at least so far show that, and I really don't feel like the processor on here, especially at 1.2 gigahertz, is going to be able to compete with those. But that's only one aspect of it, and the performance increase might not be that great. I think by the time the Galaxy S3 comes out or the next Nexus, it might be a more significant jump. So as of right now, I'd still consider buying this one. If I had to make the purchasing decision again, I'd buy it again because I'm that happy with it. I just hope that the update, like I said earlier, fixes the issues of the volume, of the lagging, and the camera opening, and then the browser. But if those things could be resolved, overall I'd give this phone a thumbs up and definitely recommend it. Alright, that's it for my review. Thank you for watching it. This is David from PhoneBuff.com, and don't forget to visit PhoneBuff.com for more cell phone news, reviews, and how-tos. Thank you.